Greetings everyone, this is Hip Rock here, and I'm back with another video for you guys. Okay, so today you've probably seen the title of this video, so you already know what I'm going to be talking about. This one's going to be crazy. I'm going to try and keep it brief, but I'm back with another epic rant, so we're going to begin. So, let me begin by saying I'm going to be reading my notes here. I have a lot to say. I'm going to try and explain things in a simple way. I have a lot that I need to get off my chest. Okay, so this video was inspired by King Green's video. I think it's Rap Latte with Torre. And they have a video called, I think it's called something about post-rap. It was a video that the subject was about post-rap, the genre, and the gentrification of hip-hop. That's what it was. It's about post-rap and the gentrification of hip-hop. You can look for the video on Rap Latte, and in that video they didn't really present a solution to a problem, so I had to find a solution myself to a problem. And this solution has always been here. It's just no one's really talking about it. So I thought, why not document it on my channel? Because I think as content creators, our job is to spread information and to preserve the culture. And I'm trying to preserve hip hop through my content on my channel. That was long. Sorry about that. Let's continue. So, what is the gentrification of hip hop, you might be asking? Okay, this is the commercialization and demographic change of hip hop's roots in black and brown marginalized groups. Okay, all right, where hip hop will lose its essence for the sake of mainstream pop appeal. Okay, this dynamic fuels the post-rap era where traditional localized rap structures are diluted to suit wider affluent global audiences. What does that all mean? You know, it's getting a bit racy, I understand. I'm not trying to be funny, you know. I personally don't like to subscribe to the idea of race, but we live in a world where people think about race all the time. It doesn't matter what you do. You think of rock, they think it's rock and roll is white, but it's a black art form. It started out black. You think hip hop, you think of black. We live in a world where we think about race, so unfortunately, I can't avoid that. But what I meant by what I just read was that in the video that I watched, apparently there's a genre now known as post-rap. And what is happening is that genre is separating itself from hip-hop, which started out as a black art form. And the post-rap has these, I guess, white rappers who are disassociating themselves from actual hip-hop, you know? And the issue isn't them being white. I think the issue more is the separation, because hip hop includes everyone. It involves everyone. It's not about what you look like. Hip hop is for everyone, all genres. Hip hop samples from all genres, from rock, from jazz, everywhere. I've even heard some old blues in hip hop before, some 1920s blues. But my point is this: to make another genre that's influenced by hip hop and separated from hip hop is a way of, taking away the people. It's taking away the core, the roots, the people who started it, and changing the face. And I'll get into what I was saying in a moment. That's what happened with rock. Rock and roll started out as rhythm and blues, and then it became rock and roll. Okay, It started out as rhythm and blues, a black art form, and became rock and roll, a white art form, which it is truly a black one at its core. That's what I'm trying to say. So the whole post-rap hip hop is like the rhythm and blues and rock and roll. It's the same thing. Let's continue. All right. If oh yeah, and if you're sensitive, don't watch the rest of this video, okay? If you're sensitive about race, don't watch the rest of this video. If you're a sensitive person, don't watch it. It's for this is for my thinkers, okay? And people who care about the culture. If you don't care about hip hop, don't watch this video. If you care about hip hop, watch this video. Let's continue. Okay, so now, man, I don't even remember where I was, but I'm gonna try. Look what happened to punk rock for all my punks out there. All right, look what happened to punk rock. Okay, they made it into pop punk. They took a rebellious ideology, all right, and made it more into aesthetic and a look to make money. That is what's happening to hip hop. They're taking what started out as an art form to rebel against the establishment, and now they're going to commercialize it and put a face on it that's not black anymore. You know, that's what they're doing. Okay, kind of like what Elvis did for rock and roll. They took Elvis, and Elvis became the face of rock and roll and made rock and roll popular. And we forgot about the black people who started it: the Chuck Berrys, the Little Richards, the Fats Dominoes, the Ray Charles. These people who started it, the Bo Diddleys. These men were all black. They started rock and roll. They're the fathers of rock and roll. Let's continue. Okay, I don't want to make this too long, so let me continue. All right, so I made my point about punk rock. Let's continue. Rock and roll started out as, I said that. Okay, lost its demographic. Okay, now blues and jazz also started out as black art forms. Country music was influenced by black culture as well, blues and spirituals. Hank Williams, who popularized country music, was inspired by Rufus Payne, who was a black man. Do your research on this. Country music was also inspired by a black man. Hank Williams popularized country music. If you do your research, you will find this. Let's continue. I should mention, I'm not only a music nerd, okay? But I also grew up as a sci-fi nerd. In southern Africa, for those of us who had satellite TV, I used to watch the Sci-Fi Channel. Shouts to my Buck Rogers and the 25th Century fans, and also shout outs to my Star Trek fans, okay? I also watched sci-fi movies when I was young, like Star Wars, Terminator 2, X-Files, RoboCop, etc. So you're probably wondering, how will black nerds or science fiction help save hip-hop? Well, through Afro-futurism, okay? If you don't know what that term is, you can Google the term. I'm not going to, I will explain it a little bit, but you can Google the term. The term was started by a white man, so this isn't racist, White people are welcome to watch this video. You're welcome to give your opinion as long as it's respectful in the comment section. But if it wasn't for this man, I don't know how else I would be having this conversation. So salute to the man who came up with this term. Let us all continue. Let's hold hands and continue as I continue reading. All right. Now, so you're probably wondering, what is Afro-futurism? Okay. I will get into that, but let me make a point before I get into that. I want to say that Now, some might argue that post rap should be like post rock, where traditional song structures are abandoned for long cinematic instrumental journeys. I'm not saying we should exclude anyone, because hip hop is an eclectic genre that can be made from any fusion of multiple genres. Okay, so I was talking about um, the hybridization of music. Hip hop will be able to encompass all of that because that's what hip hop is about. Fusing, blending genres to make hip hop. Hip hop can be anything you want it to be, and anyone can do hip hop. But they have to respect the roots, okay? And they have to respect the culture, all right? Now, but as fans of hip hop, we have to preserve the culture. Otherwise, black people will have to create something new after hip hop loses its roots. Now that we have AI, okay, there will be more possibilities for black entertainment media. It's interesting that AI is being pushed by the rich to oppress and get rid of the common man in their jobs, but it will also empower black people in art. Now I'm going to break down what Afro-futurism is, okay? So I just said, okay, AI will help black people in art. Afro-futurism is art, okay? So, what is Afrofuturism? Afrofuturism imagines new possibilities for black identity outside of cultural narratives. No, traditional narratives, sorry. My bad. Traditional narratives. That's what I wrote there. So, for all you people who think being black is being ghetto or a thug, Oreos Oreos are going to save black culture. Why do I say Oreos? Well, black people traditionally are not into science fiction. It's not considered black to be into science fiction. It's more considered white in society. This is how people think. You know, not everyone, but some people. Well, most people, not some. Most people. People think about race. Let's be real. You know, so Oreos are going to save black culture, okay? And traditionally, black people are not into science fiction. We are usually represented as slaves, thugs, or buffoons, okay? So Oreos are going to save hip hop. Let's continue. So what's the solution? If you want to get into hip hop, do your research. Know the roots of where it came from. Go back to the 80s, study all the greats, and see how it evolved and preserve it. Support all artists who are trying to help hip hop. Yeah, no. So and okay, support all artists who are trying to help hip hop empower underrepresented and marginalized in society. Back black artists who care about hip hop culture with your money. Let me say that again. Sorry, I'm in a rush. Back black artists who care about hip hop culture with your money. That way, the record companies will be forced to preserve it unintentionally. This is very important, okay? So, I'm saying here, we have streaming services now, okay? We have streaming services. You can go back and listen to all the, original old, the golden age era of hip hop, all the people who pioneered it, the pioneers of hip hop. You can go back and familiarize yourself with the culture and try to preserve that, with whatever you create or with whatever you decide to purchase and support with money. when you do this, it informs the record companies that, how can I say, that there's value in it. And if it has value, they'll be forced to unintentionally promote, the roots, what hip hop originally was. Or should I say the blackness of it, because they're trying to turn it into what rock became, you know. Even blues. Blues used to be predominantly black. Now there's lots of white. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but when you find how many black people even do blues anymore, I barely. The the face has changed. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think there has to be a balance. That's what I'm saying. So Oreos are going to save Black history with Afro-futurism. I'm not saying we as Black people should rule the world. I'm just saying I want balance and equality for all people in the industry. So Black people should be presented in sci-fi entertainment media. Afro-futurism in hip-hop isn't just for Black people, but for all people who value the culture and how it started. Okay, so I believe that's all for now. Please comment, like, and share this video. It will help other people find it through the algorithm. The more people like and share this video and comment, the more this video will be picked up by YouTube when anyone searches for it. Okay. So yeah, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's free. Subscribing is free, and you just click the subscribe button. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. You could be doing anything else with your time, but you're right here with me, and I appreciate that. And yeah, Oreos assemble. We're gonna save hip hop. So that's the end. Please comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. What do you think about Afro-futurism? What do you think about post-rap? I don't know. Let's just have a conversation. I just wanted to open up some dialogue and have this conversation because it's important for hip hop, the culture. If you love hip hop, share this video with other people who love hip hop. That's all I have to say. Salute to King Green for his video. It inspired this one, and salute to Torre as well. Their video inspired me. So that's all I have to say for now. You know how I do. Peace and love. This is Hip Rock signing out.